My first poem that I would like to share tonight is that moment where I learned and I started coming to terms and learned to become aware that, okay, there is poetry all around and nature plays a big role. Leaving the paradise of the moon and stars, the river of song is traveling into the openness of space, into the world's abode of lamentation, slowly, slowly. Stars shining and rejuvenating the nature, slowly, slowly, are telling us a story, slowly, slowly. They're shining so that in the world they might be the rule of delight, where every beam of light has desire that one day this world of dust becomes a cradle of beauty and elegance, and man will regain his lost paradise. Thank you. So yeah, that was one of my first poems where I really felt connected to nature, and I started learning from nature, and I started learning and started thinking about what is poetry and what is poetic discovery. And over the years, I kept on engaging on different fronts, and I developed a focus in trying to discover what is poetry and what does poetics do. So I write about poetry, and as an experiential designer, I try to understand what is that experience when we are trying to discover meaning and the world of ideas through poetry. So my second dedication tonight is to all the writers who have been featured in the anthology. So a huge round of applause for them. And as I learn a lot from the crossroads of our Middle Eastern literary tradition, there's this concept of haqiqa and majaz, the truth and the trope. And this poem is about that how, when we write, we are dwindling between the both. At the threshold of a verse, at the threshold of a verse, provoked by a troop of tropes, I wonder and wait for illusions to illuminate. Let me say that again. At the threshold of the verse, provoked by a troop of tropes, I wonder and wait for illusions to illuminate. By the portal of the tropes, the textures of gestures wails me in translucent wails upon wails upon wails of ambiguity, liberating me from an urge to reorientate and return to the eternal hymns resonating through the realms of discoveries. A silent stream, unraveling the luster of wonderment, sings to me. Within the form, it cannot be found. Without the form, it cannot be known. Within the form, it cannot be found. Without the form, it cannot be known. Within the form, he cannot be found. Without the form, he cannot be known. So is the trope now the truth, or truth the trope? Is haqiqa majaz now, or majaz haqiqa? At the threshold of a verse, provoked by a troop of tropes, I turned to the obscure and turned a stranger. Thank you.